A Roman mother, 2,000 years ago. Her baby has a rash. She doesn't call anyone. She walks into her garden and picks marigold. No pharmacy. No Tylenol. No gripe water. Just plants and 200,000 years of trial and error behind her. Before any of this, one rule ancient mothers actually lived by that we forgot. Ancient never meant no risk. It meant we've watched this plant for generations and we know its edges. They didn't guess. They watched closely. They started small. And when something wasn't right, they stopped immediately. That instinct, cautious, watchful, small steps, is the actual ancient wisdom here. Not a recipe. A mindset that is so. I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. And none of what follows replaces a real one, especially for a baby under 3 months. What follows is history. Treat it as the story behind the plant, not a set of instructions for your baby. For 200,000 years, every tribe had one. The one who knew the plants. She didn't go to school for it. She learned it from her mother, who learned it from hers. When a baby cried, or wouldn't sleep, or broke out in a rash, she didn't reach for a bottle. She reached for what was already growing outside. Here are 5 of the plants she reached for most, and the actual story behind each one. Egyptians grew it. Romans grew it. Nearly every ancient culture independently landed on the same plant. They called it the gentle one. Used in baths, used in the mother's own tea, passed to the baby not as medicine, but as part of an evening routine. Warm water, quiet room, familiar scent that it didn't knock anyone out. It just told the body, slow down. We still use it today. We just put it in a $20 bottle and forgot the ritual that came with it. Babies have been gassy for 200,000 years. This was the plant tribes reached for. Mothers would eat fennel themselves, in food, in tea, while nursing. The idea being that whatever eased her own digestion passed gently along in her milk. Indirect. Mother first, baby second. That's the actual ancient pattern here, and it's one modern advice still echoes. What a nursing mother eats can matter for a gassy baby, which is exactly why so many lactation guides today still mention fennel. The marigold from the opening story. Petals steeped slowly in oil for weeks, until the oil turned gold, used on skin. Diaper rash. Small cuts. Dry patches. Roman households kept a jar of it the way we keep a tube of ointment. Modern research has actually caught up with this one. Calendula shows real skin-soothing and antibacterial properties in study after study, which is probably why it never fully disappeared. It's one of the few old remedies that made it into modern pharmacies basically unchanged. Ancient Greek and Roman households grew it everywhere. Not first for the smell, for the effect on a nervous system. Sprigs near the sleeping mat. A few drops in bathwater. The scent became part of the "it's time to sleep" signal, the same way a lullaby or a dimmed light works today. Modern parents use white noise machines and blackout curtains for the same job, telling a small nervous system, you are safe now. Different tool, same target. This is the one modern content almost never talks about. Ancient medicine had a rule most of us have forgotten. If the mother is steady, the baby is steadier too. Fenugreek, for milk supply, still recommended by lactation consultants today, plant unchanged in thousands of years. Motherwort, for the mother's own postpartum nerves. They weren't just treating a baby's symptom. They were treating the exhausted, anxious, healing person holding the baby. Because a calm mother regulates a baby faster than almost anything you can give the baby directly. That we've built an entire industry around soothing babies. We built almost nothing around soothing the mother. Ancient medicine had that backwards from us, in the right direction. Here's what's actually wild about all this. These weren't treated as medicine the way we think of medicine. They were food. They were bath water. They were bedtime. Woven into daily life so completely that no one needed a dosage chart. Modern medicine tends to isolate one active compound and scale it up in a lab. Ancient practice used the whole plant, in small amounts, inside a daily rhythm, which is a very different risk profile than a concentrated extract. That difference matters, and it's exactly why ancient and measured in a lab aren't the same conversation. So if anything here interests you, 3 real rules, not 3 suggestions. Talk to your pediatrician first. Every time, especially under 3 months. If it's for you, the nursing mother, that's a very different, and generally safer, conversation than giving something directly to an infant. And natural has never meant no side effects. Plants have real chemistry. Treat them with the same respect you'd give a medicine cabinet. Ancient mothers didn't have a pharmacy. They had a garden and generations of careful, hard-won observation about what that garden could and couldn't do. The plants were never the whole story. The watching was. The going slow was. The knowing exactly where the edge was and stopping before it. That's the part worth bringing back. Not a recipe copied from a script. The patience behind it. Comment below. Which of these 5 surprised you the most? Share this with a new mom who's curious about this stuff. And send her to her pediatrician with the questions, not just the video, and subscribe. Because ancient wisdom is worth understanding. It's worth using carefully.